Okay, this is the second video on exponents, outcome A3, and we're going to look at something called negative exponents. Negative exponents only really has one rule, and it's right here. Now, it looks like two rules, but actually it's just the same thing. X to the power of negative n in the numerator is really just the same thing as x to the power of positive n in the denominator. So, for example, if you have 2 to the power of negative 3, that's exactly identical to 1 over 2 to the power of positive 3, which is 1/8. Okay, or for instance, 3 to the power of negative 2 is equal to 1 over 3 to the power of 2, which is 1/9. What's 7 to the power of negative 2? Well, I hope you answered that 7 to the power of negative 2 is 1 over 7 squared, which is 1/49. Okay, so I want you to try a few problems here. And there they are. Okay, so why don't you pause the video now. Welcome back. Here we go. I'm going to do one at a time. So 3 to the power of negative 3, this problem right here, is just 1 over 3 cubed, which is 1/27. 1 divided by 2 to the power of negative 1 is the same as 2 to the power of positive 1. And that is just 2. The last one's a bit tricky. We've got negative 3/4 to the power of negative 3. Now this can actually be rewritten real quick as negative 4/3 to the power of positive 3. If you don't believe me, just as an aside here, we can rewrite this as negative 3 to the power of negative 3 over 4 to the power of negative 3. Well, negative 3 to the power of negative 3, we'll end up rewriting that 3 in the denominator as negative 3 to the power of positive 3. And the 4 to the negative 3, well, that just ends up being written in the numerator as 4 to the power of positive 3. So just applying the same rules we used in the first question and the second question. Okay, so let's get back to it. We've got now 4 over 3 to the power of 3, and there's a negative sign up front. So the negative sign will be preserved because it's negative times a negative times a negative, 3 negative factors. 4 cubed is, of course, 64, and 3 cubed is 27, and we're done. Negative 64 over 27. Okay, there's 3 more problems. I'd like you to pause and try them, so pause now. Welcome back. And there's our 3 solutions. Okay, continuing on. All right, next we can see the lesson from before. The fractional or rational exponents can still be used with negative exponents. So, for example, 8 to the power of negative 2/3. Well, we can rewrite this as 1 over 8 to the power of positive 2/3. And now from here, well, I can evaluate 8 to the power of 2/3. That's 1 over the cube root of 8 to the power of 2. And that is equal to 1 over cube root of 8, which is 2 to the power of 2, which is 1 over 4. Now, if you'd like to, watch the first video in this series for this outcome to learn about rational exponents, such as 8 to the power of 2/3. Okay, so here's another one. I'd like you to go ahead and try this one yourself. See how you do. So pause the video now. And there's the solution. So 9 to the power of negative 3/2 is equal to 1 over 9 to the power of 3/2. And really, that's where we can stop for today's lesson. But if we keep going using earlier knowledge here, we've got 1 over root 9 to the power of 3, which is 1 over 3 to the power of 3, and eventually we end up with 1/27. Okay, and here's a final problem to challenge you. I'd like you to tell me 8 over 27 to the power of negative 2/3. So go ahead and pause the video and try this out yourself. So pause now. And here we go. There's our answer. It's 9/4. How did we get that? Well, 8 over 27 to the power of negative 2/3 can be rewritten as 27 over 8 to the power of 2/3. And the rest from there, please refer to the prior video to go from 27/8 to the power of 2/3 to our final answer of 9/4. Thanks for watching.